welcome as we confront another Monday morning. And we really see on Friday and Thursday we had down markets, pop back in volatility. We never actually were able to confirm that full contango on the close. So we find ourselves in a situation now where the markets are appearing to open down again for a third session. Now, we are somewhat off the lows that we had last night. When I looked last night, we were down something, I think, 47 points on the E-minis. Now we're only down 20. And let's go to the charts for a quick look at where we stand right about now. And we can see when we look at the E-mini charts here that we are well off the lows. In fact, we've flirted with going back to UNChed, and it certainly seems a possibility that we could go back to UNChed today. If you got a chance to check me out on the or I should say, if you didn't get a chance to check me out on Volatility Views, go check that out on Options Insider Radio. The person that I was there with, the other trader, Mark Sebastian, was talking about how VIX could easily pop to 45 this week, and we kind of agreed on short-term a little bit bearish for the market, long-term bullish, of course. And we both predicted a VIX lower than where we are right now by the end of this week. So certainly, I don't think it should be surprising to anybody that the markets gave back a little bit at the end of last week. If anything, the surprise has been how strong the markets have been in the last few weeks. So I don't think you can get too upset if you're kind of in the bullish camp for the markets, or if you're, short volatility. I don't think you can get too upset with the latest price action, because we've had certainly a more positive run in the markets than almost everybody predicted. So giving back a little bit for a couple days, I don't think should be either surprising or overly concerning to many people. Certainly what is concerning, though, is when we look at the situation in the U.S., it appears even those who are most optimistic seem to have their fingers very much crossed that we're going to be able to open the country in a positive manner. It feels like we still have not reached the testing levels that we should be at, et cetera, but I will let other people talk about that sort of thing. As we stand now, though, we are certainly not back in contango. Let's take a look quickly at the VIX Central and the VIX term structure. So VIX term structure coming into this Monday session. As I mentioned before, we moved away from that flat and contango, which we had for a little. We had some during the day. A couple days ago, we were in contango, but certainly on Thursday and Friday, the futures moved back, or I should say the VIX cash moved back above all the futures. And as we can see now, we're currently at 4.58% in backwardation with the spot VIX 80 cents, or I'm sorry, about $1 above the May future. And let's see, 2 and almost 3 points above the June future, as my math is a little sketchy this early in the morning. Interesting, I always talk about being transparent with my positions. Well, it's interesting, the marks I got on my butterflies over the weekend had the butterflies I own being marked heavily in negative territory. Now, it doesn't make sense that butterflies can be worth a negative amount. So this is just crazy marking. We had so if you look at my P&L on the top here, it shows negative $8,000. So I went from positive $12,000 to negative $8,000, but it's not real. It's just mark. So if we want to confirm that, we can look down here on SVXY, and we can see let's see if we can pull this up and make it a little bigger so you can see it better here. Okay, so the June 70 calls got marked at a higher price than the June 50 calls. So they're $20 higher in a strike, and the 70 calls got marked $2.25. Now the real well, this shows the last trading price for these calls, 50 cents. So basically what happened is they widened everything out, and thus the calls that I'm short got marked at a higher price than the calls I'm long, and thus the position got marked massively against me. It's showing us losing $16,000 on these June 70 calls. But once again, this is just marks. If we go to the when you're worried about your position being marked against you, you can actually go look at it. And we can go here and actually look at June. Now, June is not a very traded month. If we pull up volume figures here for June, we can see, most strikes don't, I don't even see a strike here that has more than, well, there's a couple right here that have more than 1,000 open interest, but not very many. And you can see, for example, every strike as we're looking up here got marked no bid at $4 almost. Well, there's various ones that got marked at different prices, but you can see that marks were against us. So you can't let stuff getting marked against you bother you too much. I just did want to point this out, though, because this is a great reason why I'm showing you my position, so that you can know ahead of time before you start trading that if you have illiquid option strikes on you, your P&L is going to bounce around, and it's not really your P&L that's changing, or I should say the real value of your positions isn't necessarily changing. It's just that the prices get marked at different amounts because they widen these option strikes out so much. For example, this June 70 strike is zero bid at $4.50, so $4.50 wide. So that's going to create some changing prices. So, but pretty soon after the open, we'll see these numbers bounce back to normal. But I did want to show that to you as a great reason that I'm showing my P&L here. Is you can see stuff moving around, so that if you have a position on like this in the future, you won't be as surprised when you come in after the close one day and your account said $12,000, and then you come after the close and it says negative $8,000, you hopefully won't have a heart attack, and you'll go back and say, oh yeah, Dave told me about the stuff getting marked. And this is just part of trading an illiquid option, is that you're going to have these marks against you at times. So anyways, as we edge closer to the open here right now, E-mini's down 22, the NASDAQ futures down 64, the VIX currently up 1.94 points to 39.13. I'm showing UVXY 49, right around $50 UVXY, SVXY right around $31, and VXX 42.57 bid at 42.65. So that's kind of where we stand coming in. Like I said, it seems like we have a good chance of rallying back to unchanged today. We are over we've come back over 50% from where we were when the futures opened last night, Sunday night. Sunday night E-mini futures were like down 46. Now they're only down 22 as we edge closer to the open. Hello, Stefano. Nice to see you. Buongiorno. I hope things are going better for you in Italy with the reopening there as well. So that's kind of where we stand. We're still in the midst of earnings here, but I really feel like the market is focused on this whole pandemic thing, and that's going to sound very obvious to you. But for those of us who watch the markets over long periods of time, the market finds different things to focus on. It can focus on one thing for a long time, and then it can be unclear what it's focusing on. It can be a combination of things. But it definitely does seem to still be focusing on this pandemic type situation. And indeed, Al, earnings season is upon us, and I've seen a marked drop off in viewership for the channel. I think that people jumped on. A lot of people jumped on right when we had that huge sell-off because they were very concerned about TVIX, and then just went right back away. But that's fine. If I can help one person per day with their positions or understand the markets better, then my job has been accomplished. So great to see those of you who caught us live, and I know many more will be watching this in some sort of playback later today. Let's see. My long-held belief: the market always overreacts to news. Yeah, it's Let's look at Drudge Report for a second, because a lot of different news is coming through, and it's hard to tell, as usual, what is being focused on. Obviously, we had, and I'm going to try not to get myself in political trouble here. Obviously, we had George Bush coming out talking over the weekend. Several more articles, sort of pro or con how the administration has been handling this pandemic, and just a lot of local news around the country. The president did have a kind of a special event from the Lincoln Memorial yesterday on, I guess could be called a Fox News town hall from the Lincoln Memorial yesterday. And it seemed, I guess, from what I read, I didn't actually get to watch it, but I guess from what I read about it, Pence sort of apologized for not wearing the mask at the thing. And it seems like the administration kind of took a more realistic view as far as the situation, which I think is good. So we'll see what happens moving forward here. I am in one of the more affected states, being in Massachusetts. So our date is right now May 18th, and we'll see if that gets pushed back more as we move forward. Once again, so my outlook right now is I'm looking to add to my short vol positions on these little pops here. But just maintaining a short in VXX and my long in SVXY due to my put spread. So currently, if we look at the positions really quickly before I let you go, I have SVXY. I am long this June 21, the 50, 70, 90 butterflies. I've got around 50 of them on. And then in VXX, I am long the September 38-34 put spread in VXX 16 times. So both of those are, well, I should say, once the marks come back in, when we reopen, both of them will be positive P&L wise. And so we'll just see what happens moving forward here. Like I said, we could see some fireworks this week, but still I remain long-term bullish the stock market, and looking for these vol products to come in at some point soon. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments in the description. A special thanks to Patreon supporters, and also for people that have gotten memberships on the channel. I definitely appreciate you. Thanks so much. Please feel free to reach out to me with your individual questions or trading situations that you want to talk about, and I'm here available for you, as I am available for everybody else. Please leave your comments in the description below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with any questions you may have yourself. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time on the Short Vol Show Live. Thank you.